Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Got a story out of Alabama. I need to slow my butt down. That's the headline. Sean and Trocon both sent this. Louisiana State Police Chief apologizes and admits to being pulled over for speeding before. Scotty Hunter and Kevin Foster wrote this. The head of the Louisiana State Police acknowledged he needed to slow his butt down when he was caught speeding along a dangerous stretch of a Louisiana interstate and admitted to being pulled over at least one other time for speeding. In an interview recently, Colonel Lamar Davis said he was not ticketed during either stop. He is also unable to recall how fast he was going in either situation, and that is an extremely bad look when the cops catch other cops breaking the law and let them slide. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. It makes you look horrible. This is something that I frown upon, and quite frankly, I'm disappointed in myself. But rest assured that I know better, and I'll continue to do better and to do my best. You have that commitment here. So the man's making a commitment after being pulled over twice for speeding that he won't do it again. In the most recent stop, a state trooper pulled him over on June 28th on a bridge along I-10 near Ramah. Louisiana State Police Captain Nick Manali, head of the LSP Public Affairs, said the responding trooper utilized his discretion and did not issue a citation. Now, here's the thing. The police officers do have discretion. That's an example where they've got to walk up to the chief and say, I'm sorry, sir, but I'm sure you understand I've got discretion to write the ticket or not write the ticket. If I don't write the ticket, it's going to make me look bad. It's going to make you look bad. I got to write the ticket. So I'm going to write the ticket just like you're anybody else. Take the ticket, deal with it. Do you understand that on the back is an appearance date? Okay. Just thought you should know that. The responding trooper did not make any notes about how fast the man was driving in the 60 mile per hour zone when he stopped about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And the police chief said that he was simply wrong in that situation. He admits he was wrong. WAFB TV requested a copy of the responding trooper's body camera footage through a public records request filed with the Louisiana State Police earlier this week. Late Thursday evening, the Louisiana State Police released both the trooper's limited body camera footage as well as a snippet of a video captured from the trooper's dash cam recorder. However, the body camera footage that was released cuts off as soon as the trooper exits his vehicle and recognizes that the motorist he just pulled over is his boss. Well, I'll be, the responding trooper from Troop A is heard saying just before the video stops. Meanwhile, they say it appears the responding trooper stopped his body cam recording as soon as he recognized the police chief. The dash cam footage, which does not have audio, shows the trooper and Davis talking for a few seconds between their two vehicles before they shake hands. Within 30 seconds of first exiting his vehicle, Davis steps back inside his vehicle and prepares to drive off. Davis defended the trooper in the interview, saying the trooper's actions fell within the policy. I know everybody wants to see everything that we do, but we're not putting body cameras on doctors or lawyers or anybody that is interacting with the public, said Davis. I ask that people trust that we're doing the right thing for the right reasons. You don't put a body cam on a doctor because there's a privilege between them and their patient. And you don't put a body cam on a lawyer, likewise, because of the privilege between us and our clients. But also, I'm not interacting with the public the same way a police officer is. Okay? Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards recently signed legislation which strengthens penalties for speeding along that bridge. That new legislation takes effect on August 1st. So there's two things going on here. Police officer pulls over car speeding. As he approaches it, he realizes he just pulled over the head of the Louisiana State Police. They have a short conversation, and he lets the guy go. No ticket. And the police chief head admits that it's happened before. Presumably, speeding, pulled over, no ticket. That, like I said, is a problem. That is a problem. If I was the head of the state police in my state, and I got pulled over for speeding, I'd say, give me the ticket. I'll take the beating on social media, and I'd see to it that it never happened again. Now, I can tell you that there have been people in Michigan politics, people in Southeast Michigan, Oakland County, will know what I'm talking about. That there was a guy who, for a long time, was in a position of power, And he got pulled over a couple times and, interestingly, was driven home by police officers after being pulled over, but not ticketed for anything. And there was a lot of speculation as to why that was happening. And after a few of those stories kind of blew up in the news, the man got a driver. He simply got a driver. Someone would drive him around. Solves the problem, doesn't it? Turns out there are ways to solve these problems, okay? So you could, one, slow down. Number two, you could get a driver. Or number three, just take responsibility for what you do and you say, I need to slow my butt down. Go, yeah, give me the ticket. Sir, officer, I'm not expecting to get off on this. It will look wrong if you let me off. Give me the ticket. That's what you do, okay? But the second problem here is that they sent over the footage due to a FOIA request and they chopped out the portion that everyone wants to see. The video stops for some weird reason. But we know what happened because of the dash cam, which doesn't record audio. So this is, again, one of those situations where everyone's looking at this going, we know what happened here. We know what happened here, and you're making it worse by not providing the footage. We know the footage exists, right? Did the body cam just malfunction that day? And by the way, if it did, can we FOIA the repair request that was put in to have the body cam fixed? Oh, there is not one, huh? Weird. So, as we've spoken about before, a lot of times people get in trouble because they do something stupid. A lot of people, however, get in trouble after they do something stupid, and then they lie about it or try to cover it up or do something in response to the stupidity they've already done. Okay? When somebody requests of the police, let us see the body cam footage of this incident, and they send it over with a big redacted portion in the middle, which is the only part we care about, it makes them look worse. And by the way, and I'm not saying that there's anything illegal going on here. I'm not. But we've talked about the concept before of spoliation of evidence, okay? So if I turn evidence over to you that I'm required to turn over to you, you can use it in court, and et cetera, et cetera. If I turn evidence over to you and I'm required to, and there's something missing that I've clearly removed so as not to give it to you, okay? The person I'm giving it to can go into court and say, Your Honor, we requested this evidence, and there's a chunk missing. We know it's missing. Everyone knows it's missing. It's not there. And because it's missing, we would like an order from this court that if we go to trial, we can get a presumption that we can tell the jury that the missing stuff would have made them look bad. That's why they removed it. Okay? So as you can imagine, and this goes back to human nature, if the body cam footage made the cops look good, they would have released it to the news themselves. But because it makes them look bad, they redacted a chunk of it. Now, I know somebody, I've always got at least one skeptic in my audience, at least one. One person out there is going to go, Steve, what if there's something else in that footage? Like say, I don't know, something we haven't thought of, but just something weird. It doesn't make them look bad. It's just something weird. Well, they understand, though, that by removing and redacting the portion that looks like it's the most important is also going to make them look bad. So if it was going to make them look bad in, it makes them look just as bad out. But also, and this is the tricky part, why didn't they say that? Why didn't they say, here's the camera footage, a portion has been redacted, and here's why? Because, as you can imagine, I can see situations where something might need to be redacted. Again, I'm making up hypotheticals here. But I've seen body cam footage before of someone who hands a driver's license to the officer, and the officer looks at it, and it's visible on camera. So they blur that out, right? That's something they blurred out. Now, if somebody said, hey, Steve, they're spoliating evidence there. They're hiding evidence. Well, we know what they're doing. We know why they're doing it. And it's pretty clear they're doing it, by the way, because it's on camera. It's just blurred, okay? So that one makes sense. And by the way, if somebody has a good reason why they didn't turn something over they were required to turn over, the spoliation of evidence is a presumption, meaning that you're allowed to rebut that presumption. So if the judge grants that ruling and says, yes, you can take this to court and you'll get that presumption and you can tell the jury that you can presume this evidence would have hurt them, so I didn't turn it over. My side can get up there and say, but let me explain why we didn't turn it over. And if a jury buys it, well, there you go. But if they don't buy it, you got the presumption. So there you go. But like I said, this makes the cops look bad for two reasons. One is the police chief is speeding, gets pulled over, but doesn't get a ticket. And he's done it before. So every single person who's gotten a ticket in Louisiana right about now is going, I don't get breaks like this. Oh, that's right. I'm not the head of the state police. And then when asked to produce the body cam footage, they produce body cam footage, but there's a chunk missing. Right in the good part. So, crazy story from KALB.com. Scotty Hunter and Kevin Foster wrote that. Sean and Trocon sent it to me. And the Louisiana State Police Chief apologized, saying, I need to slow my butt down after he was pulled over for speeding more than once and not ticketed. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. Do memory foam mattresses wish they could forget?